Well, welcome back. The 2001 Dodge Ram pickup 1500, 5.9 liter. Just going to do tune-up, plugs, wires, cap and rotor. 211,000 miles. I believe it's been done before. It looks like it has, but it's due. So just basic maintenance. We're going to go through and do it. Tools you'll need for this: spark plug gauge. Should turn my thing so I can see if you can actually see this. Yeah, spark plug gauge, just to check. Plugs tend to be pre-gapped, but you know, for a normal copper plug, I want to check them. These are copper plugs. Phillips head screwdriver, pair of pliers, just to reach down and grab a hold of that rotor, wiggle it out. Flathead screwdriver or nut driver. You'll need that to get the air cleaner off. 5/8 spark plug socket. Can't even think. Small extension makes it easier, and a ratchet. And that's it. Not a lot of tools for this one. So I'm just going to show you one of these. Basically, they're all the same. You know, 4 per side. This is bank 1, so this is number 1 cylinder. I'm just going to pull the wire out, get a hold of the wire, pull the wire out, side of the side. These are 5/8 spark plug socket. Break them loose. Yeah, they're not bad. Shut your light off there, but we'll take a look at them when we get them out. Basically, what you want to be mindful of is firing order. Don't mix your wires up, otherwise you're going to have to figure out where they go again. So just keep track of that as you go along. It's not a big deal. You can always figure it out. I don't know what the firing order is on this. I'm sure it's on the intake. But we'll try not to get them all messed up, so we don't have to look it up and figure out what's going on. Just take these out. Basically the same. Some are a little more hard to get to, obviously, in the back. It's not too bad. I'll show you the distributor when we get to that. It's all the way in the back. Actually take the air cleaner off and get it out of the way. It's going to be in the way. Make it a little easier to get at it and easier to see as well. Okay, here we go. Doesn't look too bad. A little worn. I don't know if you can see that, but looks like it's burning pretty well. Looks pretty good. A little worn. But we'll take them all out. And we'll come back after I get the rest of them out, and no point in showing you each one of them. It's the same for all 8 of them. I'm going to take that air cleaner off of there and get it out of the way. Just have one screw back here that we're going to undo to release it, and then pop it off of there. I think that's the only thing that's holding it on. I'll give you a better shot of that. Now you can see that screw right there. Holds onto the throttle body. Vacuum hose on this side. Just gonna pull that off, then lift this up. There's your firing order in this particular engine. So 1843. Is that right? I can't read. It's not 18, I don't believe. Hard to read it. Let me look. Yes, it is. So 18436572. And if looking at the distributor, looking down at it, that is clockwise. So number 1 is over here on this side. 1843. So if we didn't mark them, there's your firing order if you need it. You just need to know what number 1 is, and it should be marked on the distributor cap. I've got the new spark plugs, same as what came out. Auto light came out. Auto light's going back in. I don't know what the OEM for this. It might be auto light. Gap on this truck is written right on the front, on the sticker, on the cross member in the front. It's 0.4. These are pre-gap. I checked them. Always a good idea to check them. Kind of back in the spark plug socket and just thread it in by hand. You don't want to cross thread them. sure you start them by hand. I'm just going to run these in, snug them up. You have a crush washer on them, you'll feel it. Okay, snug them up. You feel that crush washer kind of crush down. Seal it up. Just got to do that for all of them. I wanted to show you this. These wires go through holders. There's a holder here, it's already open. You should be able to just easily put a screwdriver in here. You want to unclick these and get them loose. It's kind of tough when I have camera in my hand. You should be able to just pick this up. I'm going to put you down for a second. So it's kind of hard to show you that when holding the camera. So here you can see this little tab that holds it shut, just pushes in. Just pried this up a little bit, unclicked it, got it apart without breaking it. Try to remember your routing on your holders. So I know what the firing order is, and I'm just going to pull these wires off of the distributor just to get them out of the way. There we go. So I'll just pull all these out. If I got them disconnected from their holders and everything, I'm just going to strip them out of there, and then I'll try to get you in there to show you how this distributor attaches. Let's see if I can show you this. Kind of hard to see it, but right down there, and get that wire out of the way here, that line. You can see there's the screw, and there's one on either side. Phillips head, I believe it's an 8mm, but you can see how tight it is against the housing, the side of the cap, that it's you can't get a socket on it sometimes. So try a Phillips head first. If you can't get that, then you can kind of get a I think it's 8mm on there. Just take those screws, one on either side, and you take them out so you get the cap off. I got the cap off. A little worn, not too bad, but it does, yeah, it's got some pretty heavy oxidation on some of them. It needs to be replaced. You can see that one is marked. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to show it to you, not even looking. So you can see one is marked on the cap, and then somebody wrote 8436572. So there's your firing order, written right on the cap. Not a bad idea, actually. So now we have to get into the, get back in there and get the rotor off. It should just pop up. Hard to see it. I'll show it to you once I get it off. It just should pull off of there. I don't know how easy it's going to go. Sometimes it can be hard. This one's going to be a little difficult. Alright, so that's exactly how I got the rotor off. Just kind of get a hold of it like this. Don't crush it, and just kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit, and it pops off. It just fits on there. It's just a tight fit. But you can see the end of the, hopefully you can see this. I think you can see it on the camera. The end of that metal is all oxidized, kind of torn up, so it's definitely due for replacement. Well, you can see the new one looks a little better. Looks a lot better, actually. I'm going to put that back on. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I don't know if you can see inside of that. Let me get my light. Let me just show it to you. Inside there is a key, so it can only go one way. There's a key on the shaft, or there's a groove in the shaft, a little plastic nub there, a key. Can't put it on wrong, it only goes one way. Alright, new cap. I've written a firing order right on the cap in case somebody else has to get in there later. It's written right on there for them. Makes it a little bit easier. We're just going to put that back in place. 2 screws, just like before. Tighten them back down. And we'll start hooking wires back up. That cap rotor back on. Now I'm just going to start putting wires together. Coil wire first. I'll do that first. And, just lay them out, lay your wires against the wires you took off, and match up the lengths. Get them in the right place. And one of the things you should get with your plug wires is dielectric grease. I have a tube of it myself. You want to put that inside the end of the boots that go to the cap and the end that go to the spark plug. It's a good idea. That's why they give it to you. So one other thing, a lot of these wires when they come off have this loom on top of them. You want to take it off the old wire and put it back onto the new wire, or put it onto the new wire and put it back in place so it protects it from heat and wearing through and causing electrical problems. I got my coil wire here, so I just want to show you this on one. You're just going to take a little bit of the dielectric grease and put it inside each one of them. Doesn't need to be a lot, but you do need to get some in there. I'm just going to fish my coil wire first. Fish my loom. My loom is all the way to the back on this wire. I'm going to put that all the way to the back. The connector up front for it. You should know that if you took it off, you had to take it out of it. So put that in place again. Fish this back through where it came out from. Okay. Take your time and put that wire loom. Make sure you put that loom back on these. It does matter. You want to protect the wire. Feed this back in here. It goes through here. See, it's the coil, so it goes right in the center. I just dropped it, but it goes right in the center of the cap. Put that back on. Make sure they click in place. Should feel them click on. There we go. We'll just do that. Go through all the wires and do the same thing. Nothing exciting. Just realized this gasket's missing off of this throttle body, so I'm going to have to get one. I'm going to put this back on, start it up, but need to replace that gasket. Just wanted to show you one of these plugs. I'll show you a good one first. Worn, but actually, you know, running pretty well. Look pretty good. Hopefully you can see it. I'm looking right into the sun. I can't see. This one was the number 8 cylinder. You can see that's some kind of crusty, so not exactly sure what's going on in there. Whether it's got some blow by and a little bit of oil, or is that water? I don't know. It's got water, it's not much, but hopefully not. Doesn't look quite as good as the other ones. The other ones all look pretty good. Those like they're burning pretty clean. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what it does. Well, that's it. Just basic maintenance. I say that all the time. Do your maintenance. Even if you're not doing your maintenance, you know, at least realize what's being done. The more you know about your car, the less problems you're going to have. Leave yourself an hour, hour and a half probably to do it. Not hard, just takes time to get through it. If you have to do this, I hope it helps you out. If you like the video, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.